Alright everyone, welcome to this particular Excel lesson where we actually solve questions from 1 to 20. If you're a beginner or you're just actually getting started with Microsoft Excel, this will definitely help you to know how to answer basic business questions inside Microsoft Excel. This 20 question will definitely help you to do some certain things that you might have never done before or you wouldn't get right if you had to do it alone. So download the dataset and actually follow along step by step, and let's see how much you know about Microsoft Excel. Let's do it. The first question here says basic sum calculation. So you are asked to actually calculate the total number of units sold, which is something very simple for a beginner. So you can actually come over here and type in total units sold, and that will simply be using a sum function. Sum function in Excel will help you to actually sum a single column like this. So this gives you this particular number. Can you see how easy it is? Let us move to the next one. So the second question here, so it says average calculation. So you have to actually find the average of unit price. Very simple. So we do average, and over here we use the average function. So with the average function, we highlight units price here, and once we hit our enter, is 1.49. This is the average of our unit price. Let us quickly move to the third one. And over here, we have this question that says, create a new column called total sales and calculate it by multiplying units sold by price per unit. Very simple. So we're going to call this one total sales. And over here, we just have to do this, multiply by this, and it will definitely give you this number right here. Can you see it right now? Very simple. So let's go over to the question 4. So question 4 here says, you are to some kind of sort the data set by salesperson in alphabetical order. So, but here, this data is not actually in a table format. So how can you sort it? Very simple. Let me show you. Let us go ahead and click inside here. Go over to here and click on data. Then you have this filter here. Click on filter. And now you are to actually click over to your salesperson and you sort from A to Z. Now, A comes first, J, and M. Can you see it now? This is not hard. Let's go to question 5. Question 5 here says, filter data to show only items sold by John. So already what we have done here is exactly what we have done here. You can unfilter it. So if I actually go ahead and click on this filter right now, I can just do this and click over here and select John, then click on OK. I only have those particular, items that were sold by John. Let's go to question 6. So question 6 here, so it's saying, apply conditional formatting to highlight any product where the units sold are greater than 40. So now units sold is here. We can go over here and click on home, then go over to conditional formatting and go to highlight rows. Then you go to greater than and you put here 40. So once you have done that, you can choose any color of your choice. So you might want to choose green, and you can go over here to go to custom. Once you land on custom, you can decide to give with any color you want from here. So you can choose to have it on this color and even make it bold and click on OK. So click on OK right here. So you have just answered the question. Can you see this right now? Let us move to question 7. So question 7 here is actually using the if statement. So the if statement here says you are to create a new column called performance. So if units sold is greater than 30, so write good, otherwise write need improvement. So here we're going to say performance. So we're going to use if function. So this if function is going to check this unit sold if it is greater than 30 here. Then put a comma right here, and inside here you type in good, and that comma again. Then when it is false, you're going to type in need improvement. So you close this and hit your enter key, copy down like this. Now you can see we have two where we have greater than 30 and we have good, and the other ones are improvement. Very easy, right? Let us move to question number 8. So question number 8 says count what? Count if. So you're going to count how many times John is listed in a salesperson's column. So let's come over here and use the count function. So count if function here, count. So what are we counting? We're counting this particular range. So put a comma right here, and inside double quotes we type in John, and we close, we hit our enter key. That will give us 2 because John appeared here 2 good times. Can you see it? Let me highlight it. And if I click over here now, I put them on red. Can you see it right now? It appears twice right here. Question number 9 here says, basic chart, create a bar chart that shows the units sold for each product. So that is what we need to do. So let's do it. So a bar chart that shows the units sold for each product is very simple and easy. You can just highlight here and hold your control key to highlight this particular part right here. And quickly, let's go over to insert, and from here you can click on this here and choose the chart you want. So can you see it now? So there are several charts right here, but what we need to actually use is a bar chart. So can you see? There are several charts. So this is a column chart here. Then this one here is a bar chart. So to change this one to bar chart right now, because we're using a column chart, what we need to do is to make sure you right click and go to change chart type. Then once you are here, we can come over here to the bar chart and we can click on OK. So fortunately, this is not sorted. Maybe you want to sort it. How do you do it? I think you know how to get it done. So just go over here and go to data, click over filter, and now you actually sort this. Let's go to sort largest to smallest. Then when we do it largest to smallest and you still have this, what you need to do next is for you to click over here, right click and go to format axis. Now you can come over to category in reverse order, and this is exactly what you're going to have. Can you see it right now? So you can add the data label right here, which is this very one here, to show numbers of every single product. Very easy, right? So question number 10. So in question number 10 here, it says format date sold column, to display date in day, month, and year format. And this is the format they want us to actually use right here. So let us quickly think how we can actually have this done. So first of all, you can go over here. As a beginner, you might not remember the shortcut. Let's click over to this particular part and click over here, right? So we can have this up. So we did that by going to home. From home, we come under number and we clicked here. So the shortcut to go there is Control 1. Then you land here. So this time around, we're going to go to custom. So when we get to custom here, so to have this now, we type in DD. So we put a dash on it. So we type MMM. That is 4 times. Okay, 3 times is what we need. Then we put another dash on it. We type in the year. So 4Y. And we can click here. Okay. Now, can you see it right now? We have just answered the question. Okay, I think we are not correct because we are not supposed to actually have this in number. So we can go ahead, Ctrl 1 again. So for our months, let us use 3. Now it will give us May instead of the month 5 we have. Done. So let's go right to question 11. So question 11 says here, use remove duplicate function to identify if there are any duplicate sales records. So we can actually go ahead and highlight everything and go over to data, and we have here remove duplicates. If I click on it right now, I can just go ahead and click on OK. And here it says no duplicate values. So you can quickly come over here and type no duplicate values. Right? That's the answer. Then question 12 says, in question 12, it says here, add data validation to the unit sold column to ensure only values between 1 and 100 can be entered. Okay, for a beginner, I think this should be very simple. So I'm going to come over here under unit sold and highlight it. We'll go here and click on home. Okay, I think it's on data. So data here, we have data validation. You click on data validation here. So we can come over here to where it says between, and let me just any value for now. So now we can click over here. We now say between. I think it's gonna be number, whole number, and we choose between. Now it's gonna be between 1 and 100. So once we have done that, when somebody enters any number that is not between these particular 2 numbers we specified, we want to come over here and leave a message. So it will be warning. You can only enter number between 1 and 100, right? So alert. So you want to stop the person. You want to actually sound a warning. You want to actually pass an information. So we are going to say stop. So not valid. So you can say must be 1 to 100 or between 1 to 100, any one of it. So if I go ahead and click on OK right now, so by the time I click here now, you can see what we have here. So if I enter 200 here and I hit my enter key, I have this particular one, must be 1 to 100. Can you see it? So by the time I actually hover over it, I already have this warning telling me. Can you see this now? So we are done with this. Let's go to question number 13. So question number 13 here is actually saying, use the sum if function to find the total units sold by John. Sum if function to find the total. Okay. My manager might change his or her mind to actually say this should be by Mary or by any other person. I'm going to actually have a cell where I have to enter the name of the person. So inside here, let me make it some kind of blue color and white. So I'm going to type in the name of the John here. So we make it dynamic. So we do what we call cell referencing. So we're going to use the sum function or sum if function. So with the sum if function here is asking for range. the range we want to sum. So we want to sum something from this particular range. This is it. Then we put a comma right here, and the criteria should be this. We don't have to type John in, but if we have to type John in, we have to do inside double quotes John. Can you see it now? So we type in John, but right now, because we have John sitting here, we can reference John without double quotes, right? So next again is to put a comma, and the sum range should always be the value area, and we are looking for our total units sold. So here we highlight this environment and hit our enter key. We have 70. So if I change this one here to this person and I hit my enter key, we have 100. Can you see how easy it is now? Let's go to question 14. So inside question 14 here, so it is actually saying sort by total units sold in descending order, right? So what you need to do now to sort this, let's say we have this value coming here, not arranged. We have this value here. They're not arranged, so they're just being scattered everywhere. So what do? You can just go over here and click on data, click on filter. So we click the wrong area. So I can just go ahead again. And let me just click anywhere at the top header here. And let's go ahead and apply. So when we apply, it applies to every part of it. We can use it to filter. So total sales here. We don't have total sales already here. We need to create a column that gives us total sales. So quickly we come here and say total sales. And over here, we just do this, multiply by this. And once we hit our enter key, we have our total sales already. Can you see it now? So once we have this, so the next thing we have to do is to make sure we include this one inside our filter. So we just have to go ahead and click on it again. Right. So here we have the largest to the smallest. This is where you can actually sort ascending or descending. Do you see it now? Then from the highest value to the lowest value. If what you want to do is from the lowest value, you use the smallest value. Now this is what you have. So let us keep it at this. Very simple, right? So question number 15. We have 5 questions to go after this one. So over here, the question we have is actually, we have to create, a new table that contains the products and use VLOOKUP to find the corresponding, price per unit. Very easy. So what you need to do, you can actually come over here and use an equals to reference this particular part here, not just here, and you actually copy this down. The advantage of we doing this now is that every single time there is change in the product is going to actually reflect right here. Otherwise, we can do something like this. Come over here and copy, and over here, you can Ctrl-V to paste. But this one now is not linked, right? So I think there is a way to copy and paste and link it, but I wouldn't go into that advanced level. So over here now, you have to use VLOOKUP to find the corresponding price. So let's put an equal sign here. You will have to put a header here first. Product. Then over here, it will be price. Okay, for our price here equals, and we use VLOOKUP. So our VLOOKUP is actually looking for lookup value. We are looking up this, and the lookup array now, or table array, should be where can we find this. So we can actually come over here and highlight everything we have right here. So because we're going to be copying this down, we are going to do F4 key to lock it down, right? Then we'll put a comma right on it, and it's asking us for which column do we want to retrieve something from. So you start counting from this particular part right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's units price per unit. This is the fifth one here. So we are actually going to use the fifth one, which is going to be 5 right here. With our comma, we need the exact result. So we put 0 and we click on this. We hit enter key. So if I go ahead and copy down now, right now, so you can see it corresponds to what we have here. So you've just known how to use the VLOOKUP as a beginner, right? No issues. Let's go to question number 16. So in question number 16, it says, so filter data to show only products sold in May 2023. Okay, how do we do this? Let's quickly go ahead and actually add a filter here. So filter, and over here, I think in May 2023, this question seems to be sold in May. I think everything here was sold in May. We should have gotten a particular, I don't know how to put this, maybe a particular day of the month, because everything here was sold on May 2023. I would say there should be, I think there is an error here. Let us actually, try to say, okay, we are looking forward to on 1st of May. Maybe something like this. We can just readjust the question to be this. So this will make much sense because every month we have here is May. So with this right now, we can actually come over here and just make a filter and have something like this. I don't know. This is what it is. So the question has an error. We've just fixed that. So question number 17 here. So over here, this is our question. So it's saying, create a pivot table to summarize total units sold by each salesperson. Total units sold by each salesperson. Let's do it. So all we have to do is to make sure we convert this into a table first. Otherwise, if we don't do it automatically, when we try to create our pivot table, it's going to help us do that. So Ctrl T will help you to create a table. Now, let's see what this is. This one here says my table has header, and yes, we have headers. This is the headers here. Let's click on OK. Now we already have this. So we can create a pivot table because we don't want, we don't have huge data. We can make sure our pivot table is created right inside this same sheet. Question 17. So go over here and click on insert. Then you click over this particular, pivot table. Then you choose existing worksheets, and now you have to find where you want it to be. We want it to be right here. Then click on OK. So now we have this. All we have to do is to revisit our question again. And the question says, create a pivot table to summarize the units sold, total units sold by each salesperson. So inside a pivot table, we have this row area. This row area, what it takes is actually, categorical values, right? And this filter area, it takes categorical value to help you filter your data. And the column area, categorical value to help you, summarize the data. And this one takes in value, like numbers. So automatically, when you actually click here, you always have this to come here. And when you click on units sold, because it's a number, it comes here directly. So if you want something to come here, you would have to manually drag it in here. You don't have to actually click. But this now is exactly what we want to see. But the thing is this, it is not right because nobody can tell who or what is this row label. So how can we fix it? Go up here, click on design, pivot table analyze. I presume, I think it should be design. Then from there, let's go to this particular report layout and choose show in tabular form. Now you have this. So you can go ahead and have this one go away. In case you want to bring it back, you can right click here. So and say show field lists. You have it back again. You can turn it off. So for this one, you want to remove the sum from here. You can actually go ahead and double click it. And you have this, and you take off the sum off from here. So when you take off the sum off from here and you're trying to click on OK, it will tell you pivot table field name already exists. So how can you trick it? You can just come over here and put a space using your space bar. Then now it will allow you. We have just done this one right now. Let's go to question 18. We have 2 left after this. So the question here is this: customize the bar charts on question 9. On question 9, okay, to show data label. I think we've done that. Let's quickly go over here. So question 9, we are in 18, we're going to question 9. So look at it. So I'm going to copy this one now to question 18 and drop it right here. So we already have it. So we can remove the grid lines from here. Then this particular part here, you can take it off to make it clean. So if you want to actually make sure you change the color, you can go over here and go to design, and you can choose any of the colors of your choice right here. So maybe you want something like this. I still don't want this axis here. I'm going to have it removed. So we already have it. So we've solved the question right from there. So question 19. So here says, you are to some kind of use concatenate or this ampersand you have right here operator to create a new column that combine the product and the category. So we type products and category. So inside here, what we're going to do right now, I'm going to use 2 method to do it. So I paste another one right in here, right? So the first one, let us use this concatenate function. So we have concatenate here. So with the concatenate is asking us for the first text, this one here. And if we put a comma here, we need to select the second text. And if I hit my enter, I have this. Can you see it now? So everything comes together, but this is not what you want. We need to actually make sure we have space between them. So to have space between them now, we can actually come over here and remove this particular comma from here. And what we need to do is to have this ampersand here, then this double quotes twice, and do this. Now you have something like this, right? So, you can do that without having to use concatenate by just referencing this now. You can come over here in this ampersand and do this and reference this one. Once you hit your enter key, you still have the same exact thing right here. Look at what we have used here and look at what we have used here. So instead of you to do concatenate, you can just do straight up, this ampersand operator right there, and that is all you have. So now on our final question here, we have to use the count function. So what will the count function do for us? The count function is going to count the total number of rows in the data set, right? So let's do something like this. I'm going to do count, and here I'm going to do count A, so that we can know the difference between these 2 counts. Over here, if I choose to use count, and my count should actually count this for me, and if I close and hit my enter key, I have 0. That was because the count function does not work on text or categorical value or descriptive value. So count function works on what? On number. So the same thing I've done right now, if I do count A, so this count A, I'm using the same category column to count it. And now here we go, we have 5 rows. So and the same thing I've done is what I've done here, but using different count type function. So what do? I can just go ahead and move this one from here to where we have number. And if I hit my enter, we have this. So which means this particular count counts number. This one here counts text and number. So it counts text and both number. This is what it does. I believe this is something you are looking forward to seeing as a beginner to learn Excel. So all those questions would actually help you to, refresh your memory on what you have learned in the past. Just go ahead and download the file if you have not and practice it all by yourself. So thanks for watching.